This is episode 9 of the Hot Air Outtake podcast, and before we go any further, we've talked about it already. We do have to immediately say our schedules have been, I think, cursed by something.
Yes.
There is like
the
there
what
is an
episode
evil
of the
wizard.
What podcast? Where am I? What are we doing?
Yeah.
What is this?
It's been so long since I've heard that name, the Hot Air Outtake.
I think I had to bail on one because I was ill, and another one because the battery on my car died, and I was stranded in a car park, and I was very cold.
Yeah,
and...
we've all been ill at various
yes,
points.
Yeah,
Illness. I've moved. Cars have gone wrong.
Yeah, like I you know,
I've moved gender. I mean, yeah, you could do anything these days, and there'll be a Hot Air Outtake podcast sometime in the future, but one cannot predict when.
Yes, yeah, you know, I think, you know, we were saying, I think CIA, Mossad,
Yep.
you know, some like we were doing too good. We were
Yeah.
saying what shouldn't be said.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
is true.
the woke mob was trying to
Yeah.
silence us.
Big inconvenience have got a target on our backs.
Paid for by Stellantis, no doubt, after the last few episodes.
Oh yes, yes. Oh, and
Do they have
I
money
think
to pay
where
for that?
we're about to go,
point.
we won't be making any friends of Stellantis again anytime soon.
Oh no!
No, but anyway, we're back. We have been trying to do another episode since late December, I think, even,
Yeah.
but things just have not lined up.
Yeah.
So we tried. We tried.
Yeah.
We weren't powerful enough. We're sorry.
But we're here tonight.
Yes, to entertain you.
And we're not even that late. I mean, we're recording this in Q1. It probably won't come out in Q1, but we're recording it in Q1. So it's
Yeah.
Q1.
Q1 Hot Air
yeah.
Outtake podcast.
Yes. Unfortunately, even today, there were forces that were trying to stop Fred from getting back to his new place.
Yeah.
I'll tell the full story another time. But
Yeah, next episode, I think.
Say,
Next episode, I think we're going to have a show and tell on Fred's car, because good lord.
oh my god, yeah.
But
Is it a show and tell, or is this a public shaming?
It's
Not even
more
of a car, but
yeah, it's more just going to be my gripe hour, I think.
yeah.
yes, yes. Fred has had concepts of a car for a few months.
Yeah,
But-
barely. I now have concepts of money.
Oh no. But yes, I think in lieu of doing show and tell, unfortunately, we can make actually quite a pleasant announcement. We are all of us going to be at Rustival at the British Motor Museum on the 18th of April.
Yes.
It's going to be my
true.
first Rustival. I'm quite looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Mine too. I've not been before.
Should we describe the vehicles to look out for, perhaps?
Sure. I will be bringing my Renault 25 as previously revealed on a I think, was it the last episode?
It might
even?
be.
Yeah, probably was.
Yeah, it has. Shockingly, I mean, I don't drive it a massive amount, unfortunately, simply for the fact that I don't have to, I don't need to. But within both my local friend group and my online friends who own cars, it has thus far proved to be one of, if not the most reliable vehicles that I'm aware of. I have a buddy of mine who's I've termed it the shit-ass Saab. I might do a video on the shit-ass Saab at some point. A friend of mine, so he had an Audi that broke down that he still owns and is yet to be fixed, a Saab that tried to kill him twice and he has sold, a 2000 Hyundai Accent that probably was trying to kill him, but he managed to stave it off when the rear suspension just completely fucking collapsed and he barely noticed and drove it home anyway. and a Mercedes whose coolant system was just pissing coolant everywhere. And then a different friend of mine who had, or still has, a VW Golf convertible whose injectors started pissing fuel all over the engine.
Oh, that's safe.
So, yeah, shockingly, somehow, the 1989 Renault 25 had an exhaust leak that I was still able to drive it on, and I, just had fixed with a replacement exhaust segment. And it did develop a battery drain at some point that I sent it into the auto electricians. They took a week to even look at it, and then when they did finally take a look at it, the battery drain had resolved itself.
Yay! I love self-heating cars.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't bode badly at all. It's fixed itself permanently. It'll never return.
That's a good sign.
Uber reliable Renault versus because I've got the paragon of reliability, Toyota Land Cruiser, that has been genuinely potentially the largest nightmare of my entire life. That's not true. I love that car. So Rustival, keep a lookout for a red 1996 80 series Toyota Land Cruiser, and know that it has done great harm to me
to get there, to hopefully get there.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a good chance you don't see it, actually. But,
yeah, it hasn't ever tried to kill you. It's just tortured you.
No, it has tried to kill me. The reason it went into the garage originally is because the power steering was cutting in and out while I was driving it.
Oh my God.
Okay. And on my side, look out for possibly you might, depending on how much I knuckle down to fix it before Rustival, you may hear it before you see it. But there is a 1996 Honda Accord Aerodec in red with some Rover 800 wheels and some tasteful modifications and a front wing that's a different colour because eBay spray paint lied to me. Maybe I'll tell the story of that accident one day because I did have a crash deliberately and it didn't end very well. And then the spray paint came out blue, so that was not ideal. So it's in considerably tatty condition, but yeah, I will be there as well.
Another 1996 red Estate, and mine is an Estate for tax purposes.
Good.
Oh,
good.
Yeah, no, oh, yeah.
Well, no, it is. The V5 says it's an Estate, and therefore it is.
God, they really hadn't invented the SUV in '96, had they?
Apparently not.
Better times.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, because surely it could still be classified as an off-roader.
It should. It probably. Actually, no. I'm very happy with it being an Estate.
Yes, I'm sure. Yeah. But anyway, So Rustival is hopefully going to happen, and
come say hi.
Yeah. Sure. Now, first slide is a big one because another year has passed. And we have stats, ladies and gentlemen, to show to you today of the most recalled manufacturers of 2025.
Oh, that's what this is. Okay.
Right.
Okay, I was excited when you said there was a secret.
Yes, unfortunately, the stats have only come in thus far for America. So these will all be American stats and figures. I did do a little bit.
The
of
only
digging,
market
though,
that matters, though, of course.
Of course, yeah. You make America great. It's
the only people who matter.
Yes. But I have done some digging, and a lot of these recalls also apply to models that were sold both in America and Europe. And for one of them, we'll get to that. It's even though they are listed as a group, it will be applied to both models sold in America and in Europe. But anyway, so first on the list, does anyone want to give some guesses? My number 10 position is gonna be
10th most
What's
recalled.
the number? It's easy to say the most unreliable. Yeah, I could take pretty good guesses for 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
But number 10, how do you number 10 most recalled?
It's gonna be something boring
I know.
Yeah.
It'll be VW or someone, I guess.
I'm gonna go
Honda. Okay.
I don't think it's Honda.
I think you'd be surprised. I don't. The Japanese manufacturers aren't quite as good as
I'm raising my
you
eyebrows.
think they are.
I'm going to go with VW.
VW, okay. Well, I can reveal to you that number 10 is BMW.
Okay.
They had 21 recalls.
Okay.
21 recalls affecting a total of 508,338 vehicles.
That's a lot of cars. How serious were these recalls? Do you know? Or
Some of these were to do with engine starter motors that could corrode, overheat, and potentially catch fire.
Not ideal.
yeah.
I think that was to do with 200,000 of that 508,000. So not insignificant amount.
That's a lot of cars.
Yeah, to have a relatively serious fault. But anyway, moving on. Number 9. Any more quick guesses? Do you want to stick with VW? Do you want to switch over? Honda remaining on the cards?
No, number 9. So they're less reliable than BMW. I think it's going to be another German, but I'm going to go Audi this time instead of VW. I'm feeling Audi for number 9.
Audi, okay.
Yeah, I think German is probably a safe bet. But I don't know. I still think there's going to be a surprise Japanese car in here, but I don't think it's going to, or Japanese manufacturer, but I don't think it's going to be too far up the front. So I'm going to go with Toyota because of the sheer amount of models they sell.
Toyota, okay. Well, I'll give you the point for Audi. It's the VW Group as a whole.
Okay.
Right, okay.
Sure.
These were 25 recalls affecting a total of 663,663 cars.
Bloody hell.
Weird that it's sort of mirrored like that, but anyway.
Yeah, odd.
We have loose engine covers that may melt and cause fire, and rear view camera images that may be distorted.
Those
are not equal things.
Between those two.
Yeah,
it's like
there's a
8 ball. Is my car going to catch fire today? Possibly. Is my rear view camera distorted? Definitely. Like no,
it's fine. You can just it's a feature. They just didn't advertise it. You can use your rear view camera to film an analog horror series.
Do you get to choose which one you get? Like the fire or the? Because I think I'd have a preference really.
Yeah. But yeah, I think, if anything, though, I would imagine that is a little bit in VW's favour, because I imagine the whole VW group probably sold more cars than BMW.
I hazard a guess.
Yeah.
Although, that being said, in North America, BMW is really popular.
Really popular, and in America, you're basically only going to see VWs or Audis, because they won't get Skoda, they won't get Seat.
You don't even see that many VWs, I don't think. It is mostly Audis.
Yeah, well, Cupra, I should say, instead of Seat, but we all know what happened there.
Cupra,
yeah. So, seems the most affected vehicle appears to be the VW Atlas and Atlas Cross Sport, which I don't think is pictured because that's one of the electric ones. But
I don't know what the Atlas is. What is the Atlas?
It's like the big SUV they do.
Yeah, I think it is America only. I think.
Is it a Touareg? It's been rebadged.
Vaguely, yeah. I remember it being technically the last car that had the VR6.
Yeah, it had the 3.6 in it, which is kind of cool, but it doesn't anymore, so it's woke now. And then it catches fire.
But yeah, anyway, position number 8. Any more? Gambling is good and healthy. You just need to keep digging.
Gambling. I mean, if we're doing groups, then General Motors seems like a fairly...
I was thinking General Motors.
That's going to be like number 3, but
or Ford. I was thinking it's got to be an American next.
Well, you are right with it's American. Okay. Well, I've already started going, so I have to spoil it now, unfortunately. But you are right with saying an American because it is Tesla.
Oh, yippee! I was expecting them to be higher on the list, to be honest.
It's not a recall if they just don't want the car anymore.
Yes. I don't, because I know Tesla sales have been completely dropping off a cliff in Europe. I don't know if they've similarly gone down in the US. But yes, either way, this is 11 recalls, so less recalls, but affecting more vehicles. 745,075 cars were recalled.
Oh, Jesus.
This is better than 2024 when they had to recall 5 million cars.
What have they been doing?
It's
but
what they've
yes,
not
this
been
is
doing before
Yeah.
selling them that I think is
What
the
have they been doing? Getting rid of
important bit.
woke DEI nonsense, and then we have to recall
Yes.
millions of cars.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're getting rid of woke DEI nonsense like warnings about not sleeping at the wheel.
Yeah.
Yes, it was mostly to do with on 376,000 Model 3s and Model Ys had to do with the power steering system that can lose power. That's been a common theme tonight, weirdly enough.
That said, I'd
loss of
rather
power
lose
steering.
hydraulic power steering than electric power steering.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
at least with hydraulic, there is still like a physical connection to the road.
And it's also like not necessarily a completely binary thing.
Yeah.
You can still have some assistance. In
the
a
pump
failing
can just have-
hydraulic pump.
Yes, the pump can just be having, it's just come back from a night off, it's a little bit hangovery. It'll help out a bit.
Yeah.
The second biggest issue, 239,000 rear view cameras with computer circuit boards that may short, failing to deliver an image.
That's boring. Who gives a fuck about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of these recalls are to do more and more with software stuff.
Yeah.
More and more, which I think is, I don't know why,
they-
but all
does that
car
count
companies
as a
seem to be
recall?
hiring Bethesda to do their software stuff. Sorry, yes, continue.
Does it count as because presumably if it's just a software issue, they can resolve it over the air, right? It doesn't need to go back to a dealer. So is it even really a recall?
Yeah, I think maybe by law they have to call it a recall if it's a software software issue that can't be resolved over the air.
Sure.
Maybe it's more of a
Yeah, I mean,
firmware
if you've got to
thing or-
physically go somewhere to get it fixed, then I think it entirely
That's a
fairly
recall,
can be
yeah.
called a recall. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Position number 7. We've had 2 Germans and an American.
What are we missing?
I'm trying to think who sells loads of cars in America.
See. I still think there's going to be a Japanese brand here, just by sheer like weight of numbers.
I'm gonna give you
Toyota.
3 that I think it could be. I don't think
Toyota?
it's Toyota. I think it's going to be Ford, GM, or Hyundai.
Well, isn't that interesting? Because position number 7, click, is Kia.
Hyundai, Kia. I should have specified,
Yes.
but
Yes, I will say the one thing that this list doesn't do is it doesn't appear to be grouping Hyundai in with Kia. Because it's just listing Kia.
but it did do VW Group.
Yes, it did do VW Group. I don't know why quite, because because technically Hyundai is a parent company of Kia, but they
Did
only
you get
own a
this list from the
33
AI
point.
overview?
No, I did not. I did not. No.
What an insult! That's horrific.
See,
to
I'm
say.
I'm offended, frankly. But no, because technically Hyundai only own 33.88% of Kia, or something
Right.
like that. So they
Really?
do. Yeah, like the Hyundai own a lot less of Kia than I think they're the majority stakeholder by a long way. But they don't own.
But
more
they
than
both
50%.
exist under Hyundai Kia as a. That is the name of the parent company, no?
No, I think the parent company of Kia is just Hyundai, which own a third. It's bizarre. This the way sort of South Korean corporations sort of structure themselves in almost a similar way to how Japan do, where they're institutions unto themselves that are very it gets very political very quickly. And I am
Chaebols.
the least qualified person to be talking about that kind of thing, but
It would
either way.
appear that you're right. I just did a quick Google. I've got no idea what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, so I'm going to stop.
But yeah, so Kia had to recall just shy of 1 million cars,
Jesus.
with a total of 13 recalls.
I'm not surprised. I've heard that their quality control is poor these days in certain aspects. I've heard a lot of people on internet talking about like brand new sporty Kias or Hyundais and stuff that would burn horrific amounts of oil every week, and that's just apparently they do that. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I do have one question that may become a qualm with this list. Sorry, I know you haven't even finished it yet, and I'm throwing in jabs. Like, is this list ordered based on the number of cars recalled? Is that what this is?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so this is not necessarily representative of the worst offenders. It's the worst offenders amongst those who sell the most. Because if you sell more cars, you're likely to recall more. So I'd be interested to know maybe what percentage of total recalled cars.
So like a per capita based on how many cars you sold.
Yeah, how many recalls per sale might be an interesting metric to look at.
Once we start getting into the top 3, and certainly number 1 though, that's not gonna matter. I'm gonna put that out there.
Okay.
So Kia, and to be fair, this also is going to boost the numbers. The biggest single recall that Kia had was for 250,000 units of the K5 sedan, which affected model years from 2021 to 2024. So it was quite a recall over a large number of model years, which I think is also boosting the numbers. And apparently it's because check valves can let air into the fuel tank, causing it to expand, melt, and pose a fire risk.
Oh, I think that's a worthy recall. That's better than some cameras not working.
Uh-huh.
That's quite bad, actually.
That's Pinto business. We were joking about this in the late 70s. Come on. Right, number 6.
I don't know. Ford or GM again.
I'm just
Well, you're right. It's General Motors.
Wow.
With, again, just shot 998,260 cars recalled, which in my mind is even worse because, oh no, right, I forget this list only affects America anyway. Yeah. When I first found this article, so I did double check, and it is only American, these figures. When I first found this article, I found out that, General Motors were 5th. In my head, that was terrible, because General Motors basically only sell cars in, America, Canada, and Mexico now. Yeah. Maybe that's a little bit Europe-brained of me, because, they sold off Vauxhall and Opel. Yeah. But yeah, either way. So this is... Hang on, what was this? This is a variety of defects, mostly stemmed from the L87 6.2-litre V8, which affected 600,000 Cadillac Escalades, Chevy Silverados, Suburbans, any of those big, bulky SUVs.
What was the problem?
I think that's a cylinder deactivation thing, isn't it? I believe that those engines have cylinder deactivation that just fucking kills them at some point or something like that.
That may very well be the case.
That's the origin for them.
What do you mean cylinder deactivation? The engine runs fewer cylinders when you're using less of the engine in order to save fuel.
Yeah. They're still they're still LS based, I'm fairly certain, the engines. Oh, well, we need more fuel economy. I'm just going to cut some of the cylinders off.
I'm just going to not put fuel and air into some of the cylinders.
Why in God's name would you need to put the camshaft overhead the cylinder? That just seems unintuitive. Where would the push rods go?
Goodbye to our American viewers. Good to have you.
That may very well be the case. I am also, what I'm looking at here, it says connecting rods and or crankshafts.
So they don't even know what they recalled it for. Something's going wrong. Bring them back.
Well, in that case, you may be getting cylinder deactivation involuntarily, from what I'm seeing.
I think it's another thing that I remember reading about these kind of things is that they to get better fuel economy, they recommend zero weight oil, which the engines just kind of eat themselves with if you don't top it up and change it very regularly. So if you,
zero. How?
I mean, my car recommends zero weight oil, but it is also a Mazda, so I do trust. I mean, I don't put it in, but I do trust their judgment at least that it can survive with it. But can you imagine a big push rod V8 with zero weight in it?
Especially if some of the cylinders aren't getting fuel, they're just dead weight. They need to be lubed up so they keep moving. I mean, it just seems awful.
Ugh. But anyway, number 5, I will reveal just ahead of time because, without doing the guess, because it kind of have to lump it in. It's Hyundai.
Right. Yeah. Probably same. It's going to be same sort of deal.
They were
this is nonsense list. VW Group and Hyundai and Kia separate.
I think it's based. I think on how the NHTSA, I think is what the body is in America. Yeah. How it registers different automobile manufacturers, and that's where the stats are coming from. But either way, Hyundai are just over 1 million, 1,078,212 recalled across 21 different separate recalls. Over a half of these were to do with the Palisade SUV, which has seatbelt buckles that may fail to latch.
Oh. I was in a vehicle that was like that recently, but it was a 79 Camaro, so I think that has an excuse. A modern SUV less so.
Yeah, I mean, seatbelts have been around a while. You'd think people have worked them out by now. How do you redesign a seatbelt buckling system?
Yeah, apparently the advice that was given to customers before the recall fix had been performed was to insert the belt firmly into the buckle with a quick and direct motion.
So plug it in.
Yeah, but I thought that's what were we all not doing that? Am I the only one? Now, I will also give you a little bit of a clarification to show how badly things are going to get very quickly. Even if you add Kia and Hyundai together, which would be a hair over 2 million together, that would only get them 4th place. And Hyundai just on their own are 5th.
Well, again, because of the nature of this list, it's surely just got to be like a company that sells or companies that sell the most cars in America who happen to have had a bad year. So Ford is going to be one of the top 3, right? It has to be. It absolutely has to be. Maybe Toyota is on the list. Maybe.
Well, anyway, do we want to have any guesses?
Cars.
Do we want to have any guesses at number 4?
Number 4. Oh, so we got it. We've got 9 and then a bonus one.
9 and then we'll have the winner.
Well, I mean, but again, it's hard to say number 4. If this was number 2, I'd put Stellantis in there. Although that seems like a cheap option, but I guess it depends on how they classify it. So
I will say Stellantis is grouped as just Stellantis.
Okay, well that's going to be number 2, I think, if not number 1. So for number 4, I'm a little lost in the sauce.
Okay, in that case, we'll just go for it. Honda.
I began to doubt myself. I doubted myself, but I knew there was some method behind my madness. Damn it! I should have said it.
So yeah, this is better though. They've recalled 1,560,000. That's better than 2024 when they had to recall 3.7 million.
Oh my god!
But Honda sells so many cars in the States, right?
Yeah, that's got to be a contributor. That has to be a contributor. So 21 different recalls affecting, let's see, we had, 400,000 Civics from 2016 to 2021 used an 18-inch wheel that could fall off.
That just reminds me of, do you remember the Top Gear bit about the Bentley that was having, and it was in all likelihood, this would be noticeable to the driver.
Yes. Yeah.
Fall off.
So yeah.
What, like, as in...
How? Yeah, I don't...
What, like the wheel nuts like wiggle themselves loose?
Yeah, or I don't know. They
weren't
sort of
torqued
propeller
properly
motion
from the factory or something.
I hope I envisaged it as some kind of like Looney Tunes situation where it doesn't actually affect the car's driving performance until you notice it's gone, and then all of a sudden
you just slam on the brakes and the wheels all just fly, like continue along the road,
Yeah.
and the car just slams onto the ground.
and you're driving a hover car that like stays there for a few seconds and then bing. Right, number 3. We're getting to bronze medal territory now.
Toyota or Stellantis, number 3.
Any advance on that? Do you want to give a more specific answer?
Don't tell me this list breaks up Lexus and Toyota. I'll go berserk.
It
Oh my
it does
God.
not. It does
Okay.
not, as far as I can tell.
See, now you've got me believing in myself. I think it might be Toyota, but I'm...
Right. Well, I can reveal that number 3 is Stellantis.
For
Yes.
fuck's sake. Yeah, well, they're doing better
With
than I expected, because I had
Who
them at
else?
2.
Who else would it be? So this is 53 recalls total, which is
That's a lot.
basically double.
Yeah.
Double our
That's
previous.
a lot.
Affecting 2,776,952 cars.
Bloody hell.
This affects Jeeps, it affects Rams, Dodges, Chryslers, Alfa Romeos even.
The
But
few
this
that
is
they
still
sold.
better. This is still better again. This is better than 2024. 2024 they had to recall 4.8 million.
Jesus.
The biggest single recall is for 320,000 Jeep Wrangler 4XEs and Grand Cherokee 4XEs, which are plug-in hybrids.
Oh, yeah.
With batteries that may fail and cause a fire. A lot of flames going on with these recalls. Why do modern cars yearn for the inferno? They simply desire to go out in some kind of hellfire explosion.
I mean, if
In
I was
fairness-
a Stellantis product, I would.
Yeah, you beat me to it. Yeah. I would self-immolate if I was a Jeep.
All right, number two.
It's Toyota or Ford. The top 2 are Toyota and Ford. I'm calling
Okay.
it now.
Yeah,
What order they go in, I'm not sure.
I refuse to believe that Toyota is first.
Good job, everyone.
Okay.
I knew that was method behind my madness.
15 recalls for 3.2 million cars.
Bloody hell.
But they've got to sell more cars than literally anyone else in the country, right?
Yes, this was mostly to do with instrument panels and rear view cameras. So not nearly as bad as some of the previous ones we've had. But yeah, it was 600,000 instrument panels could fail, 44,000 Tundras could have reversing lights that may not work due to moisture, and no widespread fire risks, specifically. So, good job, Toyota.
Well done, Toyota. We love you.
Jesus. Yeah.
Bare minimum award.
Yeah.
And
Anything about coolant leaking, perhaps?
Okay, let's
Sorry.
not do this. Okay, let's not.
And yes, you have correctly guessed. Number 1, Ford Motor Company.
I knew you were going to do that.
So, number 2 was Toyota with 3.2 million. You know, I want to guess what Ford was.
5.
5 million?
I think it'd be under 4. I don't think it's be that many more.
Fred, you're closer to being right.
Oh, fuck.
153 recalls,
Oh
Jesus.
my god!
affecting a total of 12.9 million cars.
Oh my god. That's insane. What were they building these out of? Crayons
Get those
and
factories
Play-Doh?
off! Get them off!
What on earth?
Potentially faulty backup cameras, low pressure fuel pumps, cracked fuel injectors, creating a fire risk, rupturing rear brake hoses.
What's the uptake
Yeah.
on this, by the way? Like 100, what do you say, 153 recalls?
That
Yes.
is
Surely
incredible.
surely there's literally millions of people who are just not arsed and are not getting their cars fixed.
But yeah, so that is nearly 4 times second place.
That's crazy.
That
And
is
Ford do
mad.
not sell 4 times as many cars as Toyota.
That's what I was saying earlier
Yeah.
when, like, at this point, what the whole per capita thing, that doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, no, that is ridiculous.
I guess that Ford and Toyota probably sell a similar number of cars, right? Like, that is absurd. How do they not have a reputation? Like, because I know
just
Ford's
can't get over-
reputation isn't amazing.
I did hear about this. I did hear about this earlier in the year that Ford had an unusually high number of recalls, but I didn't realize it was this bad.
I mean, 153 separate recalls must mean what? Each model you get 10 recall letters a year?
It's just insane.
Oh, is
Absolutely.
that my aunt sending me a letter? Oh no, it's Ford. I've got another recall. My car's going to catch fire again. Great, thanks,
You
guys.
get you're basically pen pals with.
You're going to know
Yeah,
your service
Ford
manager
Motor
by his
Company.
first name. You're going to ask how the kids are doing.
So yeah, to quickly backtrack a little bit, I did some digging, and so obviously certain manufacturers like Honda aren't going to have nearly as many recalls in Europe as they do in America because
Yeah.
they don't sell nearly as many cars in Europe as they do in America. However, BMW still did have a similar number of recalls in Europe, as did Stellantis, had various, basically any Stellantis car, whether it be Vauxhall, Opel, Peugeot, whatever, that had the 1.2 litre PureTech in it had
Yeah.
to be recalled.
Yeah, Jesus, that's a big number.
Even Ford, with the cars that they sell in Europe, had an abnormally high number of recalls. Be it, like the Puma crossover, or what's the other one?
And
God,
that
the
is.
Cougar. Do they still even sell the Cougar? Is there a
I
new
don't
Cougar?
know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The truth is that maybe I'll catch some flack for this, but part of the reason is, of course, is because Ford hasn't made a good car since about 2005.
Struggling to argue
I'm
with that
willing.
one.
I'm willing to cut. I'm willing to cut some slack for like the Focus RS. But then they stopped making that a while ago. And there's some hotter versions of the Mustang I have time for, but let's be honest, that's like a specialist
Yeah.
team within
Well,
Ford
yeah, but
rather than Ford at
compared
large.
to their volume models, I mean,
Exactly, yeah. Like
we live in every other car on the road has got an EcoBoost time bomb under it, and we can only
Yes.
blame one company for that.
Yeah.
Ford, almost like to Nissan tier, have seemed to have just given up making anything worthwhile. They are the corners that Ford are cutting,
And yet-
beggars belief.
Some fucking
Because-
how they are seemingly doing okay. I mean, it can't last. I mean, you have too many years
Yeah.
where you're recalling 4 times more cars than second place, and people are going to start noticing, right? But
Yeah, but I think that
Ford have been doing this for years, and people still don't seem to really get it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
because in America, they've leveraged the whole thing of that they released the new Bronco, and the new Bronco's like big Jeep off-roader, patriotic,
I
all
like
that.
the Bronco. I'd say that
Yeah.
Ford had made a good car if the Bronco was for sale here. Would I buy one?
I'm
Absolutely
a
not.
bit. I'm a
But
bit split
I like
on it because you can spend a horrible amount of money on a Bronco. I double checked when it came out. If you want to, you can spend silly fucking money on a Bronco.
Yeah.
And the whole like detachable panel things on the doors, I think it's cool in a way, but it means that if you want to use it as an actual car, you are going to have to accept that it's going to have a higher floor for interior noise,
Yeah.
from what I've seen. If you're prepared to accept that, then yeah, I think the Bronco it did retro styling in a way that didn't completely piss me off. which I think is an achievement given what a lot of other manufacturers have attempted to do in recent times.
That said,
but yeah,
if I was going to
especially
actually go off-roading
in Europe,
just
buy
a new Land Cruiser.
Yeah, a Land Cruiser or even a 4Runner, even,
Yeah.
But Ford Europe have got a poor range on offer now because they put the Fiesta out to pasture, 2 years ago now?
Yeah.
The Focus, are they even still... I know they're not planning on making a successor. I know that for a fact. But are they even still making the Focus?
I don't know. Are they making the top spec ones still? I think they've kind of axed
like the Vignale.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
No, they stopped making the Ford Focus last year. Last year production was 2025.
Yeah. I'm going to be totally honest. I know people have got a lot of love for the Fiesta and the Focus, and I do as well for previous generations of the Fiesta.
I have love. Yeah, I have love for them in concept.
Yeah, there have been great Fiestas and Focus models.
Yeah.
The ones that they died with weren't, and so I don't think we need to really mourn them particularly deeply or hard.
I think it just what their death represents as a broader shift. I mean, not even broader shift because we've already had the broader shift, but the sort of doubling down almost to the point of exclusivity on SUVs is what the death of the Fiesta and the Focus represent.
It represents a doubling down on America for Ford, which seems to have resulted
and
in
that as well.
Completely fuck all, because they're still making shit cars over there as well.
Because even with a lot of their electric models that they were planning on coming out with in Europe to sort of stopgap and fill things, were just like rebadged VW group models.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it the new Ford Explorer, the electric one, or the one that they were selling in Europe that is just, I think, underneath an ID7?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even, the Transit and the Transit Connect and stuff are just, basically rebadged, platform shared with VW these days. So is there anything they really do in Europe that's theirs?
Because the other
about their pure electric cars a little bit, because here's a controversial take for you. Anytime I've seen a new electric Capri on the road, I've thought they look quite cool.
Can we just move on?
So we're looking for a third host for the podcast.
Yeah.
I hate that it's called a Capri. For the record, I think it's a travesty what they've done.
No, I'm sorry,
however,
but no, there is no however. Please.
Yeah, no, I'm because I'm willing to.
It looks better than the Mach-E. Give me that.
In the paradigm, I don't even know it looks better than the Mach-E.
It definitely does. Oh, you're taking a piss now.
I think in the paradigm, I am willing to grant you that it being called the Capri is like something horrible in its own right. That can be separate from whether it is a good car or not.
I'm not saying it's a good car.
Those two things are separate.
Or
even good looking. Or even good looking, relatively. I simply think it's gopping. It looks
it's not.
The proportions are hateful.
It looks like an somehow even more exaggerated version of that first generation X6.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
The BMW.
No, it doesn't.
The whole SUV coupe thing. Yeah. None of them look good. There isn't a single one of them that looks good.
None of them look good, right? But the Capri, compared to a sea of grey, complete shit on the motorway, you see a yellow Capri in the oncoming traffic, and you go, "Oh, that actually
that's because it's a colour."
That's
no, it's not just because it's a colour. It's not just because it's a colour. It's because it does look like a thing. It's like
that Ford paycheck must have hit quickly. I cannot believe the words I'm hearing.
Cut this one. I don't want to die on this hill. Cut this.
I have a gripe to raise with you, okay? Because your whole thing about car design is you always love to point out when there's too much of a car that's like above the rear wheel. You don't like it when they've got a big chunk. I'm looking at a profile picture of the Capri right now. There's nothing but car above the rear wheel. It just keeps going. It keeps going above the silhouette of the car somehow.
I'm just gonna.
It's like an inverse TARDIS. I don't.
I'm gonna double down. Compared to other cars in this segment, it is significantly less egregious in that particular regard.
Yeah, and like the
oh my god, you had me doubting myself, and I've just looked it up, and I'm literally the most writer person has ever been. It's hideous. I'm so sorry. I just
it is a lot softer at the front than I kind of had in my head.
Compared to other cars in this segment, you know, the arsenic I ate today isn't quite as bad as the cyanide I had the night before, you know. Like,
you might be convincing me you might be peer pressuring me.
The one thing I will hear you out on is that I can agree that there are good lines on the vehicle that if they weren't on a vehicle that looks like this from the rest of the angles might be acceptable. That kind of rear three-quarter going down onto the kind of spoiler and then the rear lights, that's... If you literally just cropped that out and showed it to me, I'd go, that's quite nice looking.
Yeah, I think if you showed me the car from, like, the door handles upwards...
Yeah, if I'm just... Like, yeah, I could see that.
It's just... It's
I'll
way
concede.
too I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We've just tortured a man into changing
We've actually
his
managed to...
It's the first time
I don't care about the methods.
It's the first time I've conceded on this podcast, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care about the methods. We've just actually had an argument and then actually come to an agreement at the end of it.
Nature is healing. This is beautiful.
Yeah, so I go back to my original point. Ford haven't made a good car since 2005. There is no exception.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. Right, good stuff. Moving on. So,
sporty
supercars. We all love supercars. The supercars. The supercar. Hey, I don't know why I'm doing it. Hey. So we have the McLaren W1.
Marty Supreme.
Mm-hmm. We have the McLaren W1, which is the sort of long in gestation / awaited successor to the P1. Mm-hmm. We have the Zenvo Aurora, which has been announced for quite a while, but is actually supposed to finally enter production this year. We'll see. We have, I think it's the 849 Testarossa, which is technically the replacement for the SF90. And... Is that not... Pardon, sorry?
I stopped myself halfway through because I realised I'm not a Ferrari expert, but I saw that picture and is that not an F80? It looks quite a lot like an F80.
No, that's the 849 Testarossa.
I'm afraid all Ferraris just look like very slightly different flavours.
They're all starting to look
quite. In fairness to me, it does look quite a lot like an F80.
Yeah,
they're all starting to do the same thing. Yeah, and then finally we have again the similarly long-awaited Toyota GR-GT,
which is frankly the only one on this screen that makes me feel anything at all.
Yeah.
Yes. So the McLaren W1 has... Oh, good God. I mean, all of these... I mean, apart from the Toyota at the end. I mean, not to say that the Toyota isn't powerful.
Million? Is that where you're going to start?
It has 1,275 PS.
Oh, right.
You can do 0 to 200 kilometers an hour in 5.8 seconds. Has 1,000 kilograms of downforce.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not even that much for what it's worth. 1,000 kilos. At what speed as well?
Again, yeah, that's entirely up to. But
yeah,
again,
so at top speed, it's got 1,000 kilos of downforce. That's just not even that impressive.
Yeah, well, but
it does look quite good though. I think.
Does it?
Ish. I think it does. I mean, I like the fact that it's somewhat escaped the modern supercar trend of bolting a whole bunch of bullshit onto everything. It looks like a somewhat coherent design that hasn't yet been mangled by having every piece of stick-on wing and carbon fibre on it.
There's
still some... It looks like
it's got
a particularly coherent design.
I think it...
There's
I
still
think it's
some
coherent.
stick-on bullshit, like
Yeah.
the side skirts look a little bit, yeah. But
McLaren are never going to escape that. You know, you look back to like the 12C and you're like, wow, that's a good-looking, gorgeous piece of design, and then they've just slowly deteriorated over the years by sticking bits on. But this has less
painting
stick-on
less
bits.
and less of them.
Yes, this has less stick-on bits than I would usually expect with a McLaren
got
of
more
this kind
holes
of
in it, though.
caliber.
It's got so many
I'm
holes
sorry?
in it, like the little the little cut
I mean,
under the
a
headlight.
lot of-
Real. They haven't rendered the bits you can't see.
a lot
you
of
see.
Right.
supercars,
You just get it delivered. It's purple and black squares.
yeah. No, if
you need to install
if you're very unlucky, you just get
650S.
delivered a giant error like sign. Yeah.
You need a Neuralink CS source.
Yes, I think weirdly, it's a trend I've seen since the new Ford GT. Lots and lots of supercars have been doing the like airflow holes in their cars. You know, the Zenvo on the right is an immediate another example of
The
that.
crucial difference
You've
is
got
though, is that the new Ford GT looks good.
Yeah.
I say
don't
new,
like
it
the-
came out 10 years
I don't know.
ago.
I quite like that the W1 just has the fucking massive sort of intake on the side. You know,
I do find that a little bit
that-
cool.
it's
That is cool.
cartoony. It's cartoony. It's almost 80s in a way, in that that's how a cartoony supercar should look. It should have a massive, huge vent on the side for gulping air into the engine.
Yeah.
Because it's got such.
Agree. I think, but that should be the defining aero feature
That's
of the
the
car.
issue I find.
And the
when
fact that
it's
there's
got
so
too
much
many aero features.
Exactly.
I think this isn't as bad as some. Some are abhorrent, but yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying. Like you need to have like one nice. You think about like the Murcielago, and it's got like the bat wings, but you know it doesn't have bat wings on every panel.
No,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
if
I
it
think-
did, it would dilute the impact so much.
Yeah, I think so much. I mean, partially what a lot of this, I'm sure, you know, if we were to if a McLaren engineer were in the room with us right now, I'm sure they'd be telling us that a lot of the like aero hole stuff that we're complaining about is entirely functional and is for the purpose of the car, making sure it handle and streamline and all this stuff.
I'm absolutely certain that it is.
Yes, but the problem is I don't care, you know.
Yeah.
Like
No, and
because let's be honest, the people who are to be fair, a McLaren buyer is probably going to be slightly more of an enthusiast than, say, a Ferrari or a Lamborghini
I
buyer.
don't think that's true at all.
These days, I think it has to be.
No.
You know, like someone who goes out of their way to buy a McLaren when they could buy a Ferrari or a Lamborghini.
People who buy McLarens are pretty much exclusively Miami-based adult film stars.
Right.
I'm not saying that
and
those
you know-
people
and
can't
you
have
know
an
this
interest
how?
in cars.
Yes, I was about to say, and you know this how, yes. But I think, at least from what I've seen in the UK, maybe, I'm sure, you know, obviously if you're going to buy any kind of supercar, then you're wanting to look to be flash of to some degree.
It's just
But-
it's the contrarian option is what McLaren is. It's
I
for people who are
guess.
it's for people who think it's kind of cliche to get a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. Just a Lamborghini really. I mean, Ferraris aren't really appealing to young buyers the same way, and Lamborghini is kind of a bit of a meme. And so McLaren has stepped in to kind of like absorb the money from people who think they're too young for a Ferrari and too cool for a Lamborghini. I think it's the wrong assumption to say that these are really, really like more technical buyers. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm not. I'm bearing in mind again. I'm not saying really, really more technical buyers. And one pushback I would have a little bit against that is I don't think the market for supercars is particularly filled with contrarians. Because if you're looking to acquire the status of wealth and showing off and all of that, you'll look to acquire those symbols. there's only limited degree for being contrarian in that. Now, obviously, McLaren does fit into that degree, at least partially. I think it definitely does. But I don't entirely necessarily buy that argument.
Which is why McLaren is so much smaller than both Ferrari and Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, considering it's another hybrid like the P1 was, I'm relatively impressed with one of the stats they've got is that it weighs 1.4 tons, which, if it's, you know, a plug-in hybrid or a hybrid of any description, I think that is actually fairly impressive.
I'm sure on every technical, like, in every technical way that there is, I have absolutely no doubt that it's enormously impressive. Supercars have kind of reached a point of capability across the board, where any differentiation between them is almost meaningless, beyond extreme edge cases.
That's sort of the point I was trying to make in putting this this set of slides together. Was all supercars now, like it used to be, when the Veyron came out and it had 1,001 horsepower, that was a watershed moment. That hadn't been done.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
Shocking. That was astounding. Now, we're about to move on to the Zenvo Aurora here, which has 1,850 horsepower.
Yeah, because of course it does. Just to complete the point I was making before, is in a world in which performance figures and even things like handling and performance characteristics are difficult points to differentiate your product on. I'm continually shocked by the lack of emphasis being put on the most important thing about supercars, now more so than ever, and it's always been the most important thing about supercars, to be clear. How they look, aesthetics.
Yeah.
It's literally the
really,
most important thing. It's the thing that sells these cars. It's the thing that makes them classics, and McLaren just can't do it.
I don't think they've had some hits.
I think that
they've
the
had some hits.
The 12C is aged
well.
The 12C's aged very well. I
think the 7. What was it? Oh god, you're trying to remember the names of all these bullshit
720
vehicles.
or something. Whatever.
No, I was thinking the 765 LT. I think that was a great looker.
It's fine. I really like the Speed Tail. I know not everyone does.
Yeah. P1. I loved the P1.
It wasn't that pretty though, was it? The P1.
It was brutal.
It was dramatic.
Brutal.
It was dramatic.
With the wing up, it just looks like a thing that's going to kick your head in, and I like that.
Yeah, and I think it's something that's that again stands out against the rest of not only the rest of McLaren's range, but there wasn't also really another supercar that really looked like that at the time. It was a uniquely sort of muscular, brutal looking thing.
It was unique as well because it was part of those big three at the time.
That's another thing.
First
There was a
generation
big
of
three.
true hybrid supercars, this isn't that, and
yeah, I've got a picture of the P1 in front of me now, and I think not only does the P1 look better than the W1 by quite a fair margin. Yeah. I reckon you could, if, say the P1 wasn't launched when it was launched and you instead launched it now, I think you could get away with launching it now.
It's a good piece of design, ultimately. I don't, like I said, I don't think it's an especially pretty car, but it looks right in a way that it looks cohesive. It looks, to kind of circle back where we started, it looks significantly more cohesive than the W1.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd agree with you with that. I don't think it's particularly bad, but I have agreement with all of the points made, really.
Yeah. Moving on to the Zenvo Aurora, I've already said it has 1,850 horsepower, courtesy of a 6.6-litre quad turbocharged V12.
Right.
Awesome.
And 3 electric motors. The one thing that I do think is actually genuinely interesting about this car from any kind of technical perspective is it has, if I remember this correctly, what they're calling jet fire injection, which I appreciate that we're going back to like
Welcome
the
back 1960s General Motors.
I was about to say, yeah, that's literally what I was about to say. I appreciate we're going back to that era when you could call it like the turbo hydromatic transmission, and everyone just let them do that, and that was fine and cool.
Shouldn't
and
you be
awesome.
doing that in a Danish accent, really? The injection thing.
I have a Swedish friend who tells me that both Norwegians and Swedes agree that Danes speak like they have potatoes in their mouths, which, firstly, is an extremely Scandinavian analogy, and I'm happy that I've learned it, but I'm not sure I could quite pull that off. But
fair enough.
But yes, I'm happy that we're moving back to that era of just giving things ridiculous names. But the actual technical aspects apparently is this is a direct injection engine, but sort of before the main body of fuel air mixture is injected into the combustion chamber, there is a pre-combustion chamber where you have the spark plug, where a smaller amount of fuel is injected that is then, detonated with the spark plug. And then while that's still exploding, it is injected into the main combustion chamber and ignites the rest of the fuel air mixture. This supposedly is more thermally efficient, reduces NOx emissions and all kinds of things like that. And also, because it makes things more efficient, will make it more powerful. That's all really interesting and really cool. But I had to explain all of it, and it looks like it belongs in Asphalt 9. So...
Yes, that is. It's not. No,
it does.
It's.
I don't know. I've got mixed feelings about the way that it looks, because my initial feeling is it looks like a.
It's a BTEC Aston Martin Valhalla. Firstly,
yeah, I was going to say it's a GR Valhalla. It looks like Toyota designed the Aston Martin Valhalla. I saw a Valhalla. I didn't just see. I kind of convoyed briefly with a Valhalla on the motorway today. And the Valhalla on the road is a fantastic looking car from the front.
Yeah. Being an particular designation. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because at the back there's basically no car because it's got all the Venturi airflow bullshit.
It is a lot less interesting from the back. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I've always thought that the is it the Valhalla or the Valkyrie? Because I couldn't.
I don't think you really. I have seen a Valkyrie on the road, but only because I used to live near Aston Martin headquarters. I don't think Valkyrie is really on the road as a as a real thing.
Yes, the Valhalla is. Yes, it's the one I'm thinking of. I've always thought modern Aston Martins in general look quite good. Apart from the Vanquish has a little bit too big a mouth on it. Unfortunately.
You don't like the new Vanquish?
The mouth's too big. If it had the DB12's grill on it and the rest of it was the same, I'd absolutely fall in love.
Make sure you come to Rustival, viewers. You're going to see a fight.
No, the grill is a bit too big, but I don't think that stops it being one of the most gorgeous cars I've ever seen.
It's so pretty.
The rest of it looks really good, and I'm not denying that. The rest of it still looks really, really good. It's just that it's like a basking shark or something along those lines, like
when it first came out, I made this it's one of only 2 off the cuff news related videos I ever made independently, and I made a video about the new Vanquish, and I'm going to repeat a point that I made in that video, which is that lots of people react to big grills as though they are an inherent design flaw, as though like a big grill in and of itself is a bad thing, and describing a grill as too big conveys negative feelings.
I'm a moron and an idiot for thinking this way. Continue.
I'm not saying that, and I didn't say that in the video, and I'm not going to say that. I'm just explaining my own thoughts on it, which is that I can understand how you would arrive at that conclusion, because the vast majority of huge grills have been implemented poorly and overpower the rest of a design. The Vanquish, I don't think, is that. I think, and Aston Martin have been guilty of giving cars grills that are far too big for their own good, and they have compromised their own designs doing so. But I think the Vanquish is actually pretty much the quintessential example of a car capable of carrying it.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. I think it makes it work somehow.
It's by no means the worst big grill, and it's definitely one of the better ones. I'm prepared to agree with that as well. I still think the DB12's grill looks better. Unfortunately, I think the proportions on the front of the DB12 are just a little bit tighter than they are on the new Vanquish. Overall, I still think the Vanquish is a very, very, very good looking car, and like its equivalent rival would be the new, I say new, the 12 cylinder, or 12 cylindry, from Ferrari.
12 cilindri.
Yes, thank you very much. And I think the Aston looks better than that, because I think that Ferrari are really just going in on giving everything the Daytona design motif now, and it's worn very, very thin.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not bad. It's just, it's a gimmick.
Yeah, exactly.
That you do once.
And I think it's the what was it? The Dolce, because that's just whatever, that one. I think
I'm not bailing you out twice.
It still looks good. I still like it, but I don't really feel any particular strong feelings towards it. And I think the Vanquish still looks better than it. But I think the Vanquish would look better if it had the DB12's grille on it.
Well, it's good to have respectful disagreement, and I'm going to kill you with a hammer.
Yeah, it's right. Fair enough.
I'm looking forward to the Rustival fight.
Yeah,
circle.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, might as well. We are YouTubers after all. Might as well squeeze every inch we can out of this. Once we post this episode, there'll be links to the Polymarket betting site we'll have, depending on which of us will win.
And we will not rig it based on the way that,
you
guys weight it.
No, we wouldn't do that. And if you see me arriving in an Aston Martin a few weeks afterwards, that's a coincidence.
I mean, we'd be no better than the US government if we did that. But anyway, moving on, bringing up Ferrari, that is the new Ferrari 849 Testarossa. I don't know why, coming back to what I was saying before, I don't know why they've put the Daytona sort of design motif on it when they could very easily have gone with a Testarossa design motif, because this doesn't scream Testarossa to me.
No, nothing about it.
Where are the side strakes? Where are the side strakes?
Yeah, that's literally the whole thing.
It's a good looking car, but why? Ferrari have got this real problem where they're kind of, for whatever reason, they've decided to take inspiration from high volume makes and really, really nail down a super specific design language. It's no, every one of your models should be unique. It needs to be its own special thing, rather than the same styling just across different body styles and with different engines. That's not what Ferrari should be. Yeah, and I actually don't know if I like the design of this. Firstly, I haven't got a picture of it from the back on the slideshow, but from the back, it really doesn't work for me.
from the back. And from this profile, it's weird because you've got, almost, dare I say, McLaren style bolt-on aero stuff on the front. And then the side, in comparison, is weirdly under-designed.
It is a bit dull, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really weird.
It is another... I'm not going to use the asphalt insult.
Yeah.
For reasons.
Well, no, this is a GTA car.
Yes.
There we go.
I think
is a GTA car.
There's a difference. There's a difference, definitely.
This is a grotty Testarossa.
Yes. But yeah, and I'm sure it makes a lot of power, and I'm sure it goes very, very fast.
And I'm sure I don't really
just
care.
For completion's sake, we'll have a look. It makes combined 1,036 horsepower, because of course it does. 4-litre twin turbocharged V8, and I'm sure plug-in hydroelectric electric motors and all of that. Anyway, moving on.
Cool. Fine.
We have.
Can we talk about the one that we actually like now?
Yes, the Toyota GR-GT.
Very cool.
They're finally.
I love this. This was controversial for some reason when they unveiled it. People were saying that it's ugly. It's not ugly. It's a muscle car, not a sports car.
Yeah,
and I love it.
Yeah.
The proportions are certainly strange. I think one of my friends summed it up by saying it looks like it was designed to be a race car, and then they kind of made a road version.
Well, that's
which
exactly
I do
what
not
they've
think
done.
Is a bad thing.
That is what they've done. It's going to go GT
so,
racing.
Yeah.
But you can tell with the long bonnet is definitely a choice, but I kind of love it. I do love it. I think they've knocked it out the fucking park.
I think the long bonnet looks great. The fact that it is sort of like a racing version, I think we finally got the opportunity to say it. Welcome back, the homologation special.
Kind of. I mean, Toyota has been keeping the homologation special alive more so than anyone else, because of course
the GR
Yaris, which was a true homologation, and that's what this is as well. And I love
the kind of Celica thing that we're getting eventually, I think. But yeah, the thing that because I always suspected, after we had the LFA, which I'm going to be honest, I might have been a really, really stupid kid. But as a kid, I always thought the LFA was mid-engined because it just had kind of mid-engined-ish proportions.
Well, technically it is mid-engined because it's front mid-engined.
Right, so what if I hit you with a hammer?
Well, that's got two. There we go. Come to Rustival. We'll see two people going down on me with a hammer.
We're going full ET on your.
Yeah. It's like whack-a-mole, except I'm only going up and down because I'm repeatedly being hit with the hammer.
Oh, we could do it side to side. No, but I kind of thought that if we had another one, it would be kind of a similar design. But they've just made a Viper, and it's amazing.
And it'll be better because it's made by Toyota, who are a company that actually knows what they're doing.
I think looking at this more as essentially a muscle car.
I will not have Viper slander on my podcast, but that's fine.
Looking at this more as...
I love the Viper, but it's not a sophisticated bit of kit, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Is it not, mate? I always thought it was. Sorry.
No, we're going to have someone continue. Going, well, technically the V10 was reworked by Lamborghini and they did the valve train. Yeah, come on. It's...
Okay, they did the what? 20 valves in the 10-cylinder engine.
It's still push rods. It's push rods. I don't care. Yeah. It was derived from a truck engine. People always say
it's fucking agricultural equipment.
Yeah.
And now it needs to be on my driveway.
It does. Yes.
But yeah, I just love this thing. I'm really oh man, because Toyota and Lexus have been knocking out the park. Like the LC500, I still think is drop dead gorgeous. I stop to stare whenever one goes by. The GR86, great looking piece of vehicle. That's a sentence. Great looking vehicle. Really like it. And this, they haven't dropped the ball on. I mean, I'm not GR Yaris. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little on the. I think they're cool, but I'm not a massive fan of the styling. GR Corolla, I think looks wicked. And now they've got this, and it's like, okay, keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Yeah,
please.
I think the one area they have missed out on, I think, is because there will be a Lexus version of this, but as far as we can tell at the moment, the Lexus version will only be electric, which I get, it's fair. Lexus are more sort of grand touring oriented kind of thing. But people are looking for a successor to the Lexus LFA. And, I think they'll have missed out a little bit by at least not making the Lexus version available with the 4-litre twin-turbo V8 that's in this.
Yeah,
it kind of begs the question of why make two separate cars, though, if they're just going to be... Because the Lexus one is going to also... It's going to look quite similar. I think it's going to be a bit tidier. It's going to have less of the aero stuff.
It's a lot more sort of smoothed out. It's a lot more flowy rather than, as opposed to the very muscular
the Lexus
thing
version...
here.
From what I've seen, it's going to be a fantastic looking car as well.
Oh yeah,
I'm kind of I'm like, the best version isn't going to exist because I think the Lexus is probably going to look prettier. I think this looks amazing, but as a beauty wise,
the Lexus. I'll flash a picture of the Lexus up in editing. The Lexus does look even better. Like the Lexus looks fantastic.
Toyota stays winning here because, I'll be honest, the GR-GT is the only new sports / supercar that I have any desire for at all, and the Lexus version, I imagine, is going to immediately replace the Taycan Cross Turismo as the best EV that I think exists.
The one thing I have is that it's going to be battery electric, but it's still going to have the long bonnet, and part of me is annoyed by that, at least a little bit, because isn't the whole point of being an electric car that you can avoid the sort of design thing? Because what the reason why it has a long bonnet is so it can be
aesthetics are the most important thing. Remember, aesthetics are the most important thing.
And the
fact
and
that
it does
got a long
look
bonnet
good.
makes the design. It looks great.
Yes, but there's a part of me that's slightly annoyed because I like it. I like it when form follows function, at least to a certain degree. But
imagine the front size.
That's true. But yeah, I
wouldn't give a shit if it was fucking solid lead. I think it's a great shape.
Yeah, one of the things, again, I do think they slightly missed out because I think you could have kept the GR-GT as like a sort of the stripped out track focused version or performance focused version. You could still have had an ICE version of the Lexus, just have it be more grand touring focused slightly more comfortable. So I do, I'm still going to maintain that I think they have missed out on, at least, because again, they may change their minds, because it's still technically not going to enter production or until December. So things may change between now and then, but I do think they have made a little bit of a mistake by not making the Lexus version available with the V8.
For what it's worth as well, just the last thing on this is I think there was some people upset that the Lexus version is a successor to the LFA. I think we've had this conversation before on the podcast. It's not. The Lexus version of this is the successor to the LC.
Yes, I don't think there ever will be. I mean, first, I don't think there ever will be a successor to the LFA that everyone would be satisfied with, because sort of post the end of its production, the LFA has really, unlike almost any other car, achieved a true cult-like status around it.
Yes.
Yeah. I think they will deliberately avoid ever making a successor because the successor could never live up to it. They'd have to lose whatever they lost making on every LFA. They'd have to lose double to make people actually happy with an LFA successor.
Exactly, because to make a true LFA successor, they'd have to follow in the steps of the LFA, and that step lost them a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think they will do a successor to the LFA, but I think we're quite a long way away from that, time-wise. I imagine it's the kind of thing that Lexus would do as their final internal combustion car, and I think we're probably 10 or 15 years away from that.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's not something I see happen. But God, I love this thing. Yeah, I
Like,
not much I would say. I just really want
yeah,
one.
like this sort of looks like the GRGT. Again, it looks like sort of what people would propose for like what a new Camaro should look like, or something like that. It really has the proper muscle car proportions. I love the sort of vertical vent that's exiting air from the brakes. Yeah, I
My only gripe is, why isn't it called a Supra?
I don't think people would be happy. People wouldn't be happy.
Why not? I mean, it's people were deeply unhappy with the last Supra.
Oh yeah, no.
Surely this is what the Supra should have always been.
You say, but people were deeply unhappy. But I think the general community has warmed to it now. I don't think this is the time. I think the Supra is generally quite a now. People got threw their toys out the pram when it first came out, but now I think it's kind of gained its own respect in its own light for its positive aspects. And I wouldn't say trying to reboot it again would be a good idea.
I always liked,
especially with something that's going to cost so much, because then
Supra, I don't know. Maybe a Supra can't have a V8.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I say. I don't think people would be happy with a Supra that had a V8.
Supras have to have 6 cylinders, don't they?
Yeah, which I mean, technically, if you really want to sort of get properly anal about it, technically the original Lexus coupe, the original SC series, was based on the Supra platform, and you could get that with either the 3-litre straight 6 or the 4-litre V8.
Imagine if the luxury version, they kind of toned it down and it was the new Sora.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like that would actually. I think I'd make some very uncomfortable Google searches. I think if that were the case.
Organ price.
Yes.
Price for blood.
Yes.
Do I need brain, etc.
Yeah, like just it. The mob's always hiring.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's
the other way.
Moving on. Porsche. Oh, Porsche. Porsche. I in previous episodes of the podcast, I've sort of always bigged up Porsche as being the company that makes the money, and that's why, you know, Lotus and Alpine have been gunning to copy the model. Copy what they're doing. Well, I think we now have to caveat that as being they were the company that made the money, because the automotive division of Porsche AG, which because it's ridiculous. You have like the Dr. Ferdinand Porsche GmbH, which is mostly owned by VW and then partially owned by Porsche AG, and then Porsche AG is a separate company because they also do like Porsche design and all bullshit is fuck.
Yeah.
But either way, the automotive division of Porsche AG, so we are talking about the part of Porsche that makes the cars, its operating profits fell 98%.
Whoa.
How?
That's
from
rough.
5.3 billion euros to 90 million.
Jesus.
I mean, it sounds truly horrendous, and for what it's worth, it is.
Yes.
In case anyone was wondering, that is bad.
Yes. But this isn't a Nissan situation.
But it's not a loss, right? Which in current market conditions is kind of impressive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
yeah, so part of this is to do with, firstly, the massive fall off in EV sales. The Taycan sold very strongly when it first came out and has since sold like shit, as far as I can tell. And that has incurred losses, and Porsche have done a hell of a lot of restructuring in the face of that has also on paper contributed to this enormous loss. So again, they're still making money, a lot less than they were.
Yeah.
But this isn't a Nissan level situation. You know, there's to make things clear.
No, they're not losing $500 million a month or whatever it was. No,
it's not nearly that bad. But nonetheless, nobody wants to lose 98% of their profits.
No.
That, good lord.
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
pretty catastrophic. Is that year over year as well? Is that literally one financial year to the next?
I think it was operating profits, I think it was. So that'll be... And so now that the books have been done, I would imagine that that's sort of the books as of 2025 compared to 2024.
Yeah, so literally just a single financial year swing. I mean, it's enormous and obviously very, very bad. It's difficult to get a... It's going to be interesting to see what the next couple of years look like. Because either it was a blip, or
they're sweating bullets.
It's over. And given that they have taken steps, as you say, to change the way that management happens within the company, I think they see this as a problem that needs to be fixed. And something that's therefore likely going to continue causing pain.
Yeah, like this restructuring effort that's being mentioned. This will be an ongoing thing. Whether it bears fruit by the end of the year, time will tell.
German companies have this really, really bad habit of when things don't go to plan, they just sack everyone, and usually things end up getting worse. It's because sometimes just leave people in the... A person can make a mistake and still be the best person for the job because they know how things work.
There's something very ruthless and psychotic about German businesses, definitely.
Particularly in the VW Group sphere.
Yes, yes. I mean, even, people laud the days of Ferdinand Piech because of all the marvelous, ridiculous cars that the VW Group was coming out with at the time. I might even be willing to say that, I don't know what it was like beforehand, so it might have... Piech might even have just been a continuation of what it was. But I will also say that Piech probably did not create a good ongoing company culture at the VW Group. Because for everything you ever hear about the man, he was, whatever he was absolutely nightmarish as a boss.
Sure, this kind of goes back to my previous point, which is that because of Piech's relationship to the company's foundations, he was offered enormous decision-making deference and was significantly more powerful as a figure within the company, and therefore, good or bad, was a stabilizing force. And that stability, sometimes even if it's not potentially the best stability out there, the fact that it was stable resulted in some pretty good times.
But it sort of slightly going back to the point I was making is that I doubt whatever company culture has been carried over from his style of management has done the VW Group any good since his leaving of the role. Because, you'll say, as you pointed out, we're seeing that... we even already did an episode on it when we were covering that the bosses of Porsche had been fired just because the Taycan was underperforming.
Yeah, they sacked what was it? The head of sales who'd overseen a huge amount of time in which Porsche had grown to an extent that was believed not possible for a sports car brand. And there was a couple of bad years in there, which you'd expect after such enormous growth. And they immediately got the sack. And to be honest, I think this massive fall in profits is probably as a result, partially, of that kind of reflexive reaction to their mini downturn a couple of years ago, in which they got rid of some people who were clearly exceptionally good at their jobs.
Yeah, but capitalism always goes up, and if you do capitalism right, then the number always goes up.
Yeah, number has to go up and to the right.
And if the number's not going up, then you are clearly a dead weight on the company, and we can't even bother to keep you around for another nanosecond longer because you're preventing the number from going up, and it's your fault. It's only your fault.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Anyway. Sort of the spectre looming behind all of this, of course, is Lamborghini, who accounted, weirdly enough, last year for 25% of Audi Group's profits.
That's crazy.
Just Lamborghini.
It is and it isn't, right? Like, you've got to... If there was one segment in the car industry that was going to be less affected by, like, tariffs, for example, it's going to be, like, the ultra high end.
Luxury goods.
Because the buyers are already paying so much that
a little bit extra isn't going to bother them.
A little bit extra is not going to bother them. And the margins are already so fat that the company can absorb some of the tariff too, without hugely compromising their margins, like they do have to do with, like, you know, an A4. You know, I don't know what kind of margin they're running on that. It's probably 15 to 20% in the best of times. So you slap a 20% tariff on it, and suddenly you're running 0% margins.
Yeah.
Or you hike the price and no one buys them, and you're fucked another way.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know, a Huracan, they're making. I don't know what their margins on Huracans are. I'd guess probably upwards of 40%.
But I mean, easily the biggest money that Lamborghini will be making will be the Urus.
Well, yeah,
because
they must make a fortune on Uruses because they're just SQ8s.
Yeah, they're just SQ8s with some, you know, different bits glued on, sold for much more money, and they sell a lot of them. 3
times as much. Yeah, and they do sell a lot of them.
They sell a lot of them.
I mean, if they're making... Presumably the SQ8 is in itself a profitable car, right? So
yeah,
you assume they might be making upwards of 50% on a Urus, obviously in a pre-tariff world. But you know, that's exactly what I mean. They can simultaneously raise prices and absorb some loss, and still be making boatloads of cash on most Lamborghini products. You can't do that with an Audi.
Yeah. And the one thing that I do think is interesting about all of this is that I think it's interesting to see a shift, you know, be it temporary or whatever, but that the sort of traditional moneymaker premium brand Porsche sort of making a lot less money that was expected, and Lamborghini's share of the profits, typically, at least we all assume Lamborghini is a step above Porsche. Yeah. Its profits making up a bigger share, I think that's an interesting shift, and I wonder if that's going to be more permanent in the future.
Well, Lamborghini's got a massive advantage in that regard because of the platform sharing, right? Porsche doesn't really do platform sharing with other members of the VW group in the same way.
Well,
they share parts.
Apart from all the SUVs.
Yeah, apart from the SUVs, which again will be the money makers.
Even the SUVs are not, you know, a Cayenne isn't just a Touareg, right? There is a relationship there, but it's not the same as, it's not the same level of closeness as the Urus is to the SQ8.
I mean, I choose.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I believe you, I guess, but it's just I wouldn't imagine that it's.
I think that's maybe I'm completely wrong. That was my understanding, is that Porsche do go out of their way to potentially do more than they need to.
I mean, they're all based on the. I mean, both the Urus and the. You know, I'm googling now just to double check. Both the Urus and the Cayenne are listed as being based on the Volkswagen Group MLB Evo platform, along with
based on doesn't
like
mean the same thing every
it
time,
says,
though.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But
maybe I'm chatting shit.
Yeah.
Maybe you can ignore me.
Yeah, but
the numbers would suggest that Porsche's spending more money somewhere than Lamborghini is.
Yeah. I would say argue though potentially on marketing. I see a lot more Porsche marketing than I do for Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Simply because I think Porsche do sell a greater volume of vehicles.
Yeah. You do.
But
I'd love to see a breakdown of the financials. I mean, they
just
fall under the
model,
umbrella of a publicly listed handful of two, because Porsche and VW are both independently publicly listed on the Bourse. But the whole thing's a fucking mess.
I think the only answer here is we have to pull some money and become shareholders so that we can get access to the numbers, which I'm sure will be a completely safe investment for all of us.
Yes.
Anyway, Nissan. The news at Nissan hasn't really changed. I'm basically just sort of putting it here to follow up on the big episode we did last time. So they have a new CEO since we last covered them, which I don't think is exactly surprising.
Who have they roped in this time?
Yeah. I was reading a Financial Times article about this, and the headline for the article is so funny. The Nissan CEO, Ivan Espinosa, so many things happen every morning, it's scary.
He just wakes up, he's like, oh, fuck.
There's so many things.
This is my CEO, dog. I'm going to lose it all.
Automotive CEOs don't talk about profits anymore. They just look at you like this, and it's the picture from the whale. But yeah, so Ivan Espinosa, it's sort of sort of at least a little bit a big deal, because he is 47 and also not Japanese, which is
shows they're desperate.
Both of those are fairly big deals for a Japanese company. It's not very often, firstly, that you'll have a Japanese company whose CEO is not Japanese. And secondly, almost unheard of for a CEO of a Japanese company to be under the age of 60. So that's sort of big deals there. As part of Espinosa's restructuring plan, they are cutting 20,000 jobs and closing 7 factories.
Oof.
Damn.
Jesus. I mean,
that's pretty heavy.
And Nissan's net annual loss for the financial year to March, so, now, basically.
Yeah.
$4.2 billion.
Jesus. It looks like we're at the stage, I feel like we've been at the stage for a while where nothing can, I don't know, it just seems like
it is hard
delaying
to
inevitable.
Because it is kind of the spiral point, right? Profits, I mean, there is no profit, they're making losses. Revenues are presumably declining. I don't actually know the numbers. Maybe you can help me out there, Bin Man.
The numbers on what, sorry?
The revenue year over year. Is it going up or down?
That was in the Financial Times article. Articule is my articule. My articles, yes. Let's see. Can we find revenue year over year? Maybe not for 2025. The revenue for 2024. Oh god, that's in yen.
We'll be like soon, folks.
I might have to flash it up on the screen, unfortunately.
Sure.
If I can't get it now.
But basically, my point is that you've got a company that's really, really struggling, and you know, laying off people is always unpleasant, but can often be spun as, and in some cases may legitimately be, an efficiency that can be found. But if you're closing down factories, you're losing capacity. I mean, that's revenue. They were revenue generating assets that will no longer generate revenue and cannot generate revenue for you in the future. And so it doesn't really change the maths. You're still losing the same amount compared to your revenue. You're just decreasing your overall footprint, and therefore both revenue and losses appear smaller. Which just, it's hard to see how that becomes good for them.
How do you turn that around?
It's just sort of, panic going, we need to cut costs. We need to decrease the size of operations.
But cutting costs only matters if you can cut revenue by less than you're cutting costs. And eliminating factories. I mean, unless they're idle because they just don't have enough orders. Maybe they are. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they are not selling enough cars.
Well, we know sales have gone down significantly in America. We know that.
Yeah.
Which was for a very long time one of Nissan's big markets. But yeah, okay. So I can tell you that revenue is forecast. We haven't got an accurate, full number on it yet. But Nissan's forecast revenue is going down this year as compared to previous year. Previous year, it had also gone down from the year before that.
Yeah, okay. So this is... Maybe
so 2020,
maybe the
2024,
factories are excess capacity then? Maybe I'm undermining my own point. But any way you cut it, it's not good, is it? Like, how do you...
No. You can't spin decreasing capital. Like
this is a managed collapse
good thing
as
for
opposed
a
to a revitalization plan. And a managed collapse is better than an unmanaged collapse, for what it's worth.
Yes.
But that is what it is.
Falling with style.
Yeah.
The 2024 Nissan's revenue was 12.7 trillion yen. Forecast this year, well, for 2025, the forecast numbers are 11.9 trillion yen, which is a decrease of 800 billion yen, which, given that 11.9 trillion yen is nearly $75 billion.
Yeah,
800 billion yen is quite a lot of cash.
Yeah, you're looking at $5 billion, I want to say, at least, off the top of my head. Something like that.
What is Nissan's core business? Like, what is their bread and butter?
Cars.
Offering really, really bad finance deals on cars in America.
That's the whole car industry.
Yeah. You're not...
What?
Yeah. Well, Nissan certainly... I mean, because that's basically what happened to Mitsubishi back in the day, isn't it? We've already brought that up, that Nissan just didn't learn the lesson from Mitsubishi, that's a bad idea that you shouldn't do.
Mitsubishi was never as big as Nissan is, though. Not in the car space. Never, ever.
No,
not even close.
No. They were big in America. Mitsubishi had their moment. They definitely did.
Oh, but, they were big. I'm not... Yeah. But they were like...
But not as big as Nissan are now.
Mitsubishi were as big as Mazda is now. Like, they weren't...
Yeah.
A behemoth.
Yeah.
No, Nissan is one of the big three of Japan,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, historically it had always been leaps and bounds. It was Honda, Toyota, Nissan, and everyone else. In Japan, and now it's I'd have my money on Mazda above certainly Nissan right now.
Yeah.
Well, Mazda
they
know what they're doing. They know who they are.
Yeah. And And that's the thing. They know who they are and what they're good at and who they can appeal to. And I think Mazda know they're never going to appeal to everyone. They're never going to be have as broad a market. But they know that. They know that, and they stick to, they're very conservative with what their aims are. And so once they're able to sort of meet those aims, they plan for that and they meet them, and things are all right and they can keep going. Nissan just wanted to sell 6 bazillion million gazillion cars, and they didn't really care how they went about doing that, and it's rotted the company from the car.
You can't out Toyota.
Yeah, exactly. It's rotted the company to the core in the process.
Yeah. It's sad, but the writing has been on the wall. But it's just the fact that every time we come back to talk about this, no matter how much time passes, things just get worse. But they
still...
never get worse. They never get worse in like a single catastrophic way.
Yeah.
It's slowly, agonizingly, step after step, heading in that direction.
Mm-hmm. It's managed decline, but clearly that isn't the intention, because if the intention was managed decline, they wouldn't be so desperately trying to hire people to try and turn it around. It seems to be kind of managed decline by accident, which I think might be the best case scenario for Nissan at this point. But if revenue continues to go down and their response to revenue going down is to sell capacity, we will reach a point in the not too distant future where it simply just kind of evaporates away.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can. I think I don't think Nissan will ever go away. I'm not even necessarily convinced, though, that they'll even get bought or merge outright with someone else. But I think we'll see their presence decrease greatly, and more of their output will be done in partnership with, I think they're partnered with Dongfeng in China. I can see them entering into other ventures like that, and I think that's where Nissan's future is most likely to be held, that their presence, as I said, will decrease, and they'll sort of do less and less of their own in-house development.
I don't know that...
complete in-house development.
I don't know that we're not going to see Nissan go away.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they might just turn into a name for other cars that,
But they're not even...
Chinese cars. But
after
who cares, really?
Yeah, the last couple of decades that Nissan have had, and the market segment that is their bread and butter, that kind of cars like the Altima and the Qashqai and the Duke, those buyers don't give a shit about the brand. Because they now all buy Chinese cars.
Yeah.
So
Korean or Chinese
there is
they never really gave the Qashqai buyer a reason to get another Nissan, because there wasn't really much to fall in love with.
Yeah.
No, I mean in the same I don't give a shit about the brand of fucking cables toaster. I buy or toaster or I don't look at the brand on the air fryer that I'm going to buy. It's just it's an appliance, right? And Nissan, they're going the way of Bosch, which is to say away.
Yes. Well, moving on.
Yeah.
To the so-called lightning round. So, firstly, top left. Well, I think we can cover that fairly quickly. Mercedes have finally done something to vaguely differentiate the regular S-Class from the Maybach one.
A two-tone colour scheme.
Well, apart from the two-tone colour scheme, they've also changed the grille. It's got a different grille from the regular S-Class, and they've tried to make it big.
A worse one.
And yeah, because they haven't designed the rest of the car around it, so it looks like an S-Class with a. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a Vanden Plas Allegro.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right. It's just, I mean, or
The
just
minimum effort.
a cheap, crap facelift.
Like a cheap, quick way to try and make it look posher and nicer.
Yeah, it looks like a honky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's rude to the honky. The honky's cool as fuck.
One of the honkies is fucking sick as hell.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, give me a honky. I will embody the great helmsman. I will guide the people. But yeah, something about this is really not landing. Weirdly, I don't know if you guys have seen them as well. I have seen an increasing amount of the fucking Maybach van. I see quite a few of them.
I've seen a few in London.
I have
not really.
I saw the new luxury Mercedes van. I saw a couple of prototype luxury Mercedes vans recently. I haven't seen the Maybach ones though.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that they were offering something like that in Europe, but evidently it was a smart move because at least I've seen a fair few of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, the BMW iX3. This is the first official, fully launched Neue Klasse BMW, I think. And it's just, I'll say, I think it's almost as bad as I think we were anticipating it to be. It's slab-sided.
It's almost it's hard, it's hard to put, because we've been saying it for so many years, right? That BMW can't do styling. They
can't do it anymore. They've lost it.
It's become but you'd think that someone at the company would notice.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh wait, this looks really bad.
I think it's a shame because I think the grille treatment and the headlights is really quite good. Actually, they've kind of not done terribly with that.
It's better. Yeah. I won't say it's good. It's better than some of the prototypes they showed.
Yeah.
Off.
The problem with this car specifically is that it's an SUV because it's got that massively fat lip going on.
Yeah.
That just If it was if it was small, if it was a small saloon, with that kind of fascia without that fat lip to give it the extra height, the front at least would look. The sides would still look horrendous.
How have they made it so square? How?
It's bizarre. Because the problem is the incongruity, right? Is you've got this super angular front, and then there's really.
Did they design this on a PlayStation 1?
Or an Etch-a-Sketch?
Just the very bubble car 90s side. It's wrong, and they've been doing it for years, and it's always been wrong. And for whatever reason, they just can't work it out.
It's rough. It's really, really rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Moving on. I think that's
run out of things to say about it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's depressing.
Honda have, perhaps unsurprisingly, cancelled their bizarre pod-looking electric cars that we talked about last time.
It's not surprising that they cancelled this saloon one. What were they called with the I can't even remember what they were called.
The type.
The Zero, the Zero saloon and the Zero SUV. It does surprise me that they cancelled the Zero SUV, even though it was always the worst looking one.
But they've also cancelled, as you pointed out, I didn't know this, but before we started recording, you pointed out, Fred, that they've also cancelled the tie-in car with Sony.
Yeah, they cancelled the Afeela. The Afeela's dead too. It does seem like odd timing, and Honda are not the only company to be doing this, but they've chosen the beginning of potentially the worst
an oil
crisis for a generation to cancel all of their EV projects.
Yeah, it made sense. It made sense about a week ago.
I paid 11p more per litre when I filled up yesterday than I did the week before. Hurts just a bit. Just a bit.
Oh, God. But yeah, as much as that sort of decision to cancel it was, especially the Sony car as well, was very much in the last hours, because there were already, some dealerships that were advertising it. Or were they advertising it, or was it present in dealerships, or something along those lines?
They weren't really dealerships per se. They were more like pop-ups, but some of them were like proper brick and mortar, like pop-up stores, where you could like go and have a look around one or several. At least in North America, I believe.
You don't do that if you're planning to cancel it.
Yeah.
So it seems that the decision to cancel it was fairly last minute. Given that was a decision, I would have been running around there, saying, as soon as the news about Iran came out, desperately trying to see, Control Z, while the bar for deleting the production line is about to reach 100%. So, yeah, it seems that was, again, maybe not entirely their fault, because, once you decide to cancel something and that's all in the works and the deals get severed fairly quickly, and then all of a sudden, oil prices are going up because suddenly, 20% of the world's oil supply is... Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, they might come to regret this.
Yes, at least with regard to cancelling the designs, though, I don't know. I'm not mourning them heavily. I'll put it that way.
Oh, you didn't want a knockoff 4-door Gallardo?
Welcome back, Dustbuster, etc.
Yeah. Yes. I love, what was it? The fucking... It's like a movie where the plot is that every day the guy commutes to work by going through a pod that travels through the center of the earth, and there's time travel or like mind business going on. Like, it looks like a knockoff. It looks like something out of iRobot. There we go.
Yeah.
Different movie, but yeah.
The Afeela as well, the Sony car. People are mourning it a little bit. I don't know too much about the details of what it would have been. It looked quite a lot like. Do you remember that Nev's concept that the Saab?
Yes. I quite liked that.
It looked fine. It did look a little bit, and I don't mean this in a disparaging way, like a BeamNG car. More than a real car.
It did look a little bit like the SBR4.
Yeah, I get what you mean there.
And actually, now that I'm looking at the Emily GT, from the door handles up, it does somewhat resemble the new Ford Capri. It's got the exact same thick C-pillar going on. The exact same thing. I see what you mean, though. It definitely does look a lot like the Sony Afeela. With the front full light bar is very, very similar. But then again, so many EVs are going for the full front light bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Seldom does it look good. I mean, VW are the worst for that. Theirs looks fucking awful.
Oh, yeah.
With the fucking light up badges as well. Jesus.
Just so crap.
God, it's tasteless. Tasteless.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think... Oh, I forgot how prominent the sort of self-driving cameras were on the Afeela as well. That looks properly crap. Anyway, moving on. So, on the left, we have some spy shots of what is to be called the new Lancia Gamma.
Right.
I feel like I went a little bit Matt Berry there. The new Lancia Gamma.
And it's presumably an Alfa Romeo Stelvio with marginally different looks.
No. It's a DS number 7 with marginally different looks.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah. The Gamma, I have a soft spot for. I do like the Gamma, the original one. But then again, it is not it is not a legendary nameplate, shall we say. So I don't particularly take much grief with them applying it to an SUV. But yeah,
there's just a 0% chance that it's interesting.
Exactly. You know, hang on, what does the number 7 look like? The DS number 7. Oh wow, that's a DS, all right. Yeah, sure.
And like,
that sure has some styling features.
It's kind of baffling, right? Because the only people who give a shit about Lancia as a brand are not the kind of people who are likely to be in the market for another generic mid-size SUV.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess it's just another name to
work.
Fling shit at the wall and see what sticks, I guess, honestly.
Yeah.
I guess Maserati have made it work. I mean, you see enough... Whatever, is it the Grecale is their mid-size one?
The Grecale, yeah. So I haven't actually seen a Grecale in quite a long time.
I've seen a few, and you see like Levantes around as well. But
yeah, I used to see a few Levantes about. Again, it's been a little while, but the Levante hasn't been on sale for a little while either. So,
but Maserati is also a higher profile brand than Lancia is in the minds of normie people. It's still niche. But Lancia's really niche, and
yeah, and I still don't think they're going to be putting this on sale in the UK. You know, I think we'll only be getting the DS variant if and when it launches,
which will probably be better, frankly.
Yeah, I mean DS. The one thing I'll always give DS is that their interiors are always really good.
Oh, fantastic!
They've always got fantastic interiors. So I'm hoping they continue that trend with the number 7. But yeah, it's gonna be a Lancia, it's gonna be called the Gamma, it's gonna be electric, it's gonna be an SUV, it's gonna be all the things that's I'm sure all the people in the boardroom were really patting themselves on the back when they decided all the things it should be, you know. Like,
I can't imagine a scenario in which they were like, how what world do you have to live in?
Let's make a car that rides a bit higher and it's a bit taller as well than you would usually expect it to be, and let's see. Oh, let's power it with these newfangled electric motors.
This is what confuses me about this stuff, right? Is that there is going to be an executive who gets paid millions and millions and millions of euros if they sell any of these. I could do that job like so easily. I could probably even do a better job with a tiny bit of effort.
People labor. You know, we're constantly told that, you know, oh, you don't like it, then you're simply not grinding hard enough. You're not doing all the things that you're supposed to be doing. You need to be 24 hours paying attention to the markets and all this stuff. No, we don't live in a meritocratic society. And if anyone who truly believes that is fooling themselves.
I just want to say, I don't genuinely believe I would be better at running a car company than whoever is in charge of Lancia at the moment. My point is more that there is a very, very apparent and almost complete creative bankruptcy in the automotive space at the moment. At least amongst every brand that is attempting to sell anything more than a couple of hundred units a year. I can't fathom of a scenario in which a mid-size SUV resurrection of a 30-year-old nameplate is still actually the best option.
Yeah.
It's just, it reeks of... They're kind of burning through everything they've got without ever taking a risk that could really elevate them beyond mediocrity.
Well, of course, but you've just said it. You've said the word that every capitalist, every investor, every member of this class of people hates the most: risk.
But here's the thing, right? Is I think there's a misunderstanding about what risk, about how risk works. Because sure, you could make the argument that it would be a risk for Lancia to come back and bring the Gamma back as a kind of, coupe saloon thing, and like give it a V6, right? That would be a risk, but it's equally risky to bring it back as a boring mid-size electric SUV, because there's so many of them. There's a massive risk that people just buy the other ones, because why the fuck would they buy this one?
Yeah, no, because again, like there's I don't sort of like to always tie all these things together, because I don't think everything in this world is necessarily related. But there's a reason that Hollywood is repeatedly, year after year, making franchises and franchise sequels, as opposed to putting out more sort of standalone original ideas. The big summer blockbuster now is always going to be a Marvel movie, or it's going to be a John Wick film, or it's going to be, something like that.
I'm afraid your argument is kind of, because the current massive movie is Project Hail Mary, which is not an existing film IP.
Well, yeah. There's
so
it's sort of traditionally, over the past few years, sort of the trend, right? That sort of trend of like, because there has been a lot more franchising of films.
I think media is beginning to recover a little bit from it, because people have got fucking really tired of it.
Yes, exactly. And I think, but media is one of the industries that can respond the fastest. But the reason why things started going in that direction is because people saw that they were making money, and they saw a franchise sequel as a safe investment, as something that would make money, as something that was more of a guaranteed success. It wasn't taking too many risks because it was a proven and a known entity.
I agree.
But that's what I think things in general have been trending towards. Sort of the drive for the safest possible investment to make as much money off of as possible. I mean, firstly, is what led us to 2008, because that's, the sort of mortgage packages getting rated AAA when they shouldn't have been. That's what led to that, was people seeing those as just being safe bets for great return on investment, because they were safe, because they were supposed to be safe. There is never any sort of driver. There have to be so many points of evidence that show that something is going to make money, as opposed to any risk it will incur of losing money, for it to be considered worthwhile these days.
I don't disagree, but what I will say is that in the car space, like, I don't think the Marvel franchise would have had anywhere near the longevity it did if every studio had license to use the same characters. Every single car company under the sun is making cars for exactly the same segment, with very little differentiation and zero USP. And I don't understand how you can say in 2026, yes, we're going to enter this space for the first time. Aren't we geniuses?
I would push back on that a little bit, because rather the same characters, I would say the same concept, the concept of a superhero movie. And plenty tried. You had the Sony trying to keep going with the X-Men, the DC attempt at a cinematic universe. those bombed and they failed. The only one that really
it's not
survived
really
was Marvel.
It's not. Yeah, we're getting bogged down in the details now. I'm not
yes,
sure.
yeah,
It's
sort of the
metaphors a little too far.
the metaphor's losing itself a little bit, but I maintain my point that like you had a couple that succeeded with the franchisation of the idea and some that failed because they saw the money and tried to follow it, not realizing it had already been taken. That's the point I'm trying to make with this. They thought they have a great idea that other people are making money in this segment and they're trying to follow that money. And let's be real, they're not going to make it. Are you kidding me?
Well, yeah,
So,
but
yeah,
that's So how are there such influential and successful and competent to some extent people who believe that it will work?
Because they've hired some company to do an analysis, and they say that that the number will go up and to the right, and
It's not hard to make
that's on the table.
It's not hard to make Large's revenue go up, though, is it?
Yes.
No, it baffles me because I mean I can kind of see, with certain niches how a Lancia, people would be more attracted to a little Lancia hatchback because it's a Lancia and Lancia all did sporty things and let's make that interesting. But for whatever the fuck that is, I'd like it. Nobody.
How does that apply to an SUV?
Well, and also how do I mean, I guess we're probably not going to get them here, but is there literally anywhere outside of Italy that has a kind of general positive memory about Lancia that isn't just they make rally cars?
Is there anywhere outside of Italy that's got any fucking memory of Lancia at all outside of they did rally cars?
Weirdly enough, I think the UK probably does it a little bit, simply
Maybe
through
one
the
of the only
lauding.
We're a nation
anywhere.
of autists is the thing.
Yes, exactly, and the lauding that they received on Top Gear.
Yeah,
I think that's the one place that they're not selling them in.
Oh, you gotta laugh. I'm sure they have their reasons.
But anyway, moving on. BMW have bought Alpina outright. They've revealed their new logo, apparently having immediately dipped it in their big vat of Google brand corporate minimalism juice. And this is the result we have.
Yeah.
At first I was trying to wrap my head around why BMW would buy Alpina.
I'm more trying to wrap my head around why they hadn't done it sooner. It seems like a...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's sort of part of why I was wondering, like, why haven't they done it yet? Why did they wait now?
I'm amazed they didn't.
But then, if they hadn't done it until now, they must have had a good reason not to. But basically, yeah, as far as I can tell, the idea is they're going to turn Alpina sort of into the custom house for BMW.
Yes,
basically
AMG.
turn Alpina. Yeah, or well, sort of AMG is the M division. Alpina is going to be the Maybach.
Well, but AMG was independent of Mercedes until the late 90s. It seems like BMW is doing exactly... Because I think what BMW have done is they've cooked M. Like, they've slapped M badges on so much shit that they've massively devalued it. And so I think Alpina is going to be AMG. I think Alpina is going to...
I mean, the AMG badge has also been slapped on a lot of stuff since. You can buy an AMG line 200D.
Yeah, you can. And that leaves Mercedes with a real problem because they don't have another AMG to buy. But BMW do. And they have.
I see it as part of a way that they can kind of almost separate between what I would say are kind of some of your more traditional BMW customers where, people who would buy a V8 5 Series or something like that versus people who want whatever is the fastest vehicle with the most carbon fibre stuck onto it for whatever their finance payment can be. And so I think that maybe it's kind of because all fast BMWs being under M, is appealing to what I would say are two separate demographics. I mean, you look at the specs of like BMW M cars that you can see. You could see like one M3 that's like a gorgeous colour that's obviously, you know, and then the next one is going to have all of the AliExpress tat on it and the world's worst pop and bang map. And you think maybe those two vehicles should be slightly marketed different, you know, for those two people. That's my own personal. That's how I see it. It makes sense to kind of separate, especially while, you know, we keep getting more and more hardcore M versions of, you know, various vehicles. You know, it's because it's almost, to me, it's almost as if like Porsche only made like the GT3s and stuff, you know, but there's always going to be a market for the kind of a bog standard Carrera or something that's a little less hardcore.
Yeah, and I guess so. The whole point of Alpina to me has always been sort of the slightly more discerning BMW driver who also has a lot more money.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of Alpina has always been they've sort of had a gentleman's agreement with BMW where they never make a car that's more powerful than whatever extant M version of that car exists.
Yeah.
It'll always be slightly less powerful than whatever M version exists, but will have more torque and will be more geared towards grand touring rather than out-and-out performance. And so that's where I see Alpina, and also Alpina would always have their own leather options where they'd have higher quality leather and more stuff would be covered in leather, and you could get different woods and it would be covered in leather, and then you could have the roof in leather, and it would all, you know, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So that angle is where I see BMW positioning Alpina as sort of the custom house. Not exactly Maybach, because, you know, Maybach is all about pure luxury, but it will be BMW, which is always perceived as being, you know, baseline, a BMW is considered more sporty than a Mercedes. Alpina will be the sort of equivalent thereof that BMW has to Maybach.
Is there an alternate universe in which Alpina becomes BMW's Lexus?
I don't think Alpina will ever be completely separated from BMW.
Because there is this...
Lexus...
Well, no, I mean, Lexus isn't completely separated from Toyota.
It's not completely separated from Toyota, but
They've got different bodies.
Always have... Yeah, they've got different bodies, they have different body panels, they have different interiors.
And
a Lexus dealer will always be separate from a Toyota dealer. I don't see any of that happening for Alpina.
It's BMW just in a tough spot here with their, like, the way that their brands are set up, which is that M is supposed to be the raucous one, but it's been enormously devalued, and Alpina, as you say, is meant to be this more kind of GT oriented, kind of fast, in a civilized way.
Yes. Gentleman's bomber.
That's tough to fit in, because, like, if that is the goal, Alpina should really be what most of their recent M cars have been, and then M becomes reserved for the raucous stuff. But they've devalued M so much that it's going to be tough to convince consumers that M is now suddenly really, really high end again, when it hasn't been for a while. And so I'm struggling to see exactly how Alpina and M are going to exist alongside each other without there being some much more significant differentiation.
Yeah, this is a fairly recent purchase, and the first post-Alpina purchase cars are set to be sort of revealed pretty soon, but they haven't been revealed yet, so I guess we'll wait and see. And even the first ones will be, you know, the first ones before they've really sort of settled in to transition Alpina to whatever they want it to be. So I don't know, we'll see.
Remains to be seen.
Yeah. Anyway, good news!
What?
The Mazda 6e is coming to the UK!
Wow.
Yeah. No, we've... yeah. We talked about
6-y.
this. We talked about this in a previous episode. I quite like it.
Yeah.
I quite like... Mazda's recent design language on their SUVs I don't like, because much like BMW, it's very slab-sided. But this, I quite like the look of. We've discussed it at length previously.
I genuinely don't remember what I said about it previously.
It's like a Chinese car rebadged, basically. It's not really much Mazda, but
it's also it rides a lot. It rides pretty high. I mean, is this a crossover?
That's the one problem I did have with it when we were talking about it previously. It rides a bit higher than it should.
The other issue that I have with it, as I've seen interior pictures, and Mazda have gone woke and hopefully go broke in terms of getting rid of buttons for bullshit on screen. In this one, at least.
Again, like, how can you how can you look at the market as it exists at the moment and go, yes, I know what we need to do is get rid of the buttons.
I'm assuming it's because it's a kind of platform sharing thing, and it's probably just the way that they had to do it. But it is very disappointing, and I saw quite a bit of discussion when it was kind of announced that this is coming to the UK from people saying that was, Mazda fans, but that's a deal breaker. They're not gonna. Which, it would be for me, I'll be honest.
One of the great benefits that Mazda had of recent times was that they always they kept physical buttons.
I love my buttons. I press them all the time.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I see a button, I press it. It's very satisfying. Yeah. But yeah, and even on the new Mazdas, which I think is, sort of pointing towards the fact that, this probably wasn't actually developed very intensively by Mazda themselves.
No.
Who was their Chinese partner with this? I forget.
Oh God, I can't remember.
No, it wasn't Cherry. I will get that for you.
BAYC.
I still think it's not like I still like it.
It is Chang'an. It is Chang'an Automobile Group.
Yes, yeah.
Is their partner.
Cool.
So it uses a Chinese platform. So I'm assuming that's probably why it doesn't have buttons and stuff, is because it's all probably integrated into the platform. I mean, I still think it looks good.
They've made it look like a Mazda. They've made it look like a good Mazda.
I'd like to see them on the roads, but for me personally, it's a bit of a shame that because it's not really
a Mazda,
not proper Mazda, and it does seem to mean that unfortunately some things that I really like about Mazda aren't in it.
Yes. Anyway, moving on. This is an AMG coupe SUV of some description. It's going to have 1,000-something horsepower. It's going to be the big thing that I saw, and the reason I put it here is because as part of the release for this, Mercedes CEO, marketing director, whichever position it was, said, "This is part of our ongoing strategy to double down on SUVs."
Can you double down on dying?
But I thought we'd already doubled down.
Wait, how do you double down more than we're currently
we doubled down before, and then we doubled down again. How many times do we have to double down? This is just going to get to factorial stuff at some
tiresome.
point.
I legitimately cannot conjure. Any interest.
No, it is it's too late in the day, and I'm too sick of these kind of vehicles, seeing them, hearing about them.
I wish I could, for the sake of entertainment, come up with anything at all, but I can't.
Let's not justify it. Let's not give it the attention it thinks it deserves.
Yes. Anyway, the Alpine A390 is going to be launched this year.
Is it going to look like that?
Yes.
Wow. That's
very
awesome. French. It's very French.
I love that. It's fantastic.
I think from the front, it does look a bit weird. I don't really like the sort of from ground level from the front. But as far as I can tell, it's whether it's optional or not, it will have that panoramic sunroof. And if it does have that,
I love that.
If it does have that, it would be a modern car I would consider buying of that basis alone. Hey, this is Editing Bin Man here. I just thought I'd Google and double check the claim I made to see if the production version of the Alpine A390 is going to have the panoramic sunroof. I just thought I'd double check that. Can you guess what the production version of the Alpine A390 doesn't fucking have?
Yeah. No,
That it can't.
I love it.
I'm looking at the wheels. It's got no tires.
Yeah,
It can't
this is yeah.
really properly
But-
look exactly like that.
Yeah, well, actually, no. Well, hang on. Let me go on Alpine's actual website. And there is also a Wikipedia page for this already, because they're going to make it unless Renault suddenly goes bust. But
They seem to be, I mean, touch wood. Obviously, we don't have a great track record on this podcast.
we don't have...
Renault seems to be doing all right.
But yeah, Renault have consistently seemed to be doing fairly well for themselves. But
you have picked a particularly flattering picture of it.
yes, that's what I was saying. From ground level, it looks like a fairly chunky coupe SUV.
It still looks more interesting than others in its.
It's with the roof like that, it gets Aventime treatment where it's endearing enough to look over its interesting design.
I can get past that if it delivers on that roof. If it does. If not, then I don't really have any time for it. Oh really? If it has that roof. If it has that fucking roof, you sweet, stupid boy, former me.
It's not a bad. If it was a real 4-door coupe, as opposed to a 4-door coupe that
yet another crossover,
would be fabulous. But the fact that they felt compelled to hike it up and then try to hide it with the plastic stuff around the bottom, as they always do, it's tough.
Yeah, like this trend, it has to die.
I want to like it. But until we get real cars back, it's hard.
Yeah. I don't want an SUV. It's like, that's there was like a beer brand of lager that exploded in America because the Kelsey brothers bought stakes in it, and as such, it became the hot new thing. And the reason why it became this hot new thing was because the sort of tagline or the whole thing was like, this isn't, hazy IPA nonsense. This is just lager. And the tagline they went with was beer-flavored beer. And that's kind of I just want a car. Just
car-flavored car, please.
3 boxes. I need a bonnet. I need bit in the middle for people, boot. That'll do me. Honestly, that'll do me. But anyway, yes. Finally, just because I wanted to leave things off on at least something that's will be interesting to talk about. There is Ariel is 25 years old now.
Wow. Happy birthday.
And as such, they are releasing a 25th anniversary version of the Atom called, I believe, the 4RR. It has a 2-litre turbocharged engine from the Honda Civic that they have boosted to 525 horsepower.
Okay.
That sounds fucking terrifying.
That is a lethal vehicle.
What does it weigh? Giving
this thing a power-to-weight ratio of over 700 horsepower per ton.
God.
So what? It weighs like 800 kilos or whatever? Or 750 or something?
Just to fling in my own personal... I've been on a track day with an Atom V8. It is... possibly the scariest thing to ever have on a track day with you, because you can look in your rearview mirror and it's at the other end of the straight that you're just about to finish, and you think, okay, I'm fine, and then you go in for the apex and it's just gone through, like it's just overtaken you, and it's gone and off into the distance, and then 2 laps later it will be back behind you at Mach fuck, outbraking you, out cornering you and screaming. I never looked at the performance of that Atom V8 and thought, oh, I bet it needs more power.
Yeah.
They are crazy things. I did like a Formula Ford thing. I don't know how much power they've got. I guess maybe like 100 brake horsepower, and they weigh, I don't know, a few hundred kilos maybe. Like nothing compared to this. And, that it feels rowdy. Like you tip it into a corner and there's a lot going on. I mean, the idea of putting fucking nigh on 600 brake in something like that, terrifying.
So hang on. Yeah, the accurate figure is 770 horsepower per ton. Fuck, man.
Jesus.
What? Which means that, yeah, its weight works out as just under 700 kilos.
That is mental.
Fuck. That's crazy. I listen, I love that Ariel is still going and that they've managed to make a legitimate business out of doing this for 25 years. It's cool that there is enough people enthused by the physical feeling of driving for them to exist.
Yeah, because that's the one thing that I was sort of... every time I hear that Ariel are not only still in business, but that they're putting out new things, I'm always kind of surprised somehow. You know, but pleasantly, of course, pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, for example, other cars of this genre, you heard about BAC recently? You know, guys who made the BAC Mono, you heard about them?
No.
Yeah. How are KTM doing? A KTM Expert? Ooh, well.
Yeah, that's
slightly separate thing.
In fairness,
slightly separate thing, but nonetheless, you know, this pure track toy. You know, I guess the only other people who are still in it, you know, Caterham, I guess, you know, they're still going, and Radical, I get. Yeah, are Radical still going? I don't even know. But
if you work at Ariel and you're interested in letting us know, please do reach out. I'd love to make a video about how you exist.
Yes. You're still here. That's wild.
It is, and I'd love to talk with you about it.
I just love the fact that you can actually like drive this thing on the road. Like, it has a number plate and you can it never stops being hilarious to me that, you know, we got rid of pop-up lights because of woke safety, and, you know, all of the other stuff that, you know, we've got to have, you know, noise regulations.
Can't
and
have pop-up headlights no more.
I sound like a flag shagger. I'm going to start painting roundabouts, but like, it does really amuse me the fact that like there's so much stuff that car manufacturers kind of have to adhere to these days, and Ariel could just come out and bring this fucking thing made out of scaffolding with 550 horsepower, and you could just drive it. I love it. It's beautiful. I hope it never stops.
It's almost like the regulation argument in favour of crossover SUVs is slightly bollocks.
Yes. And I've just double checked. Radical are still in business.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can even buy like crate engines from them, I think. Which is pretty cool. But anyway, just from a quick look at their website. But
I guess there's Ultima as well, if we're being fair.
Oh yeah, true. Again, I haven't really heard a lot about Ultima recently, but
I'm pretty sure they're still doing their thing.
How? Again, how? Like what?
I guess you don't have much overhead when you probably have like 7 blokes who make the cars.
Exactly, yeah, and like if you're not constantly pursuing growth and profits, then, you know, if you're happy to just take away a little bit at the end of the day, then you just do it for the love of the game. Then fair enough, I guess.
It's a great argument in favour of private ownership of businesses as opposed to public
shareholder.
Because the moment you introduce like shareholders, they've got all these rights and they can force you out if you don't perform well enough and all this bollocks. It's just like there are some industries in which that just doesn't seem to result in good business.
Yeah. Well, basically,
and
I don't
cars as a.
I don't know if pursuing endless number go up has done good for basically any business, really. And if the few businesses it has done well for, it hasn't done for the rest of us.
Yeah.
In the process.
Well, and it's also bound to end at some point.
Of course, yeah, because
So,
there's
even the companies that have benefited the most. It remains to be seen how long they continue.
yeah,
to
because
benefit.
there's always going to be a cap on how much these profits can endlessly grow, and that's the planet Oith. So.
Well, unless you ask Sam Altman or Jensen Huang, in which case they've discovered the source of unlimited wealth, which is
The special number that never goes down.
Yes.
There's some. This isn't a politics or economics podcast.
No.
I have lots of thoughts that I'm not going to share right now.
In talking about an industry, that is what this podcast is about. We inevitably have to drift at least a little bit in that direction, though.
Yeah.
Simply through having to discuss the ins and outs of things, you end up having to cover why things are that way, and all of a sudden, politics enters the domain.
Infinite productive potential does not equal infinite consumptive potential.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is always going to be a problem.
Infinite productive potential even exists in the first place, which of course it doesn't.
Which of course it doesn't.
Yeah.
But even it exists more than infinite consumptive potential, because there will always be a finite number of people who will always have a finite amount of time.
But anyway, yeah. Speaking of, going back to what I was saying, the shareholder thing, these companies are so small. Like, I'd be surprised if Ariel has more than about maybe 25 employees, maybe a bit more than that. But when you talk about companies that
I'm fascinated, actually. I don't really. Is their whole business these cars? Because if it is, you're probably right.
maybe, I dare say we haven't heard a lot about it, but I dare say that they also probably work as a consultancy doing a...
Yeah, you're probably right there. They probably do a lot of work for other manufacturers who, want stuff but don't have the time or the skills.
But yeah, the point about companies don't have to continuously make number go up. If they're happy, if whoever's involved is happy to just keep things coasting and, make whatever money they can from it, and but it's a stable continuing operation, that can be fine enough.
Making profit at all is a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of profit doesn't have to continually increase for it to be a good business, as long as it's making more money than it's costing.
As long as it's stable and it's keeping on and the ship's sailing steady, that's fine, that's good, thumbs up, we can live with that, that's nice. Anyway, I one day hope I am able to be a passenger in this Ariel and have every neuron in my body set on fire by it. I specifically say passenger because I think I would kill myself if I were behind the wheel of this thing, either on purpose or by accident. Because
I'd be happy to drive it for you. Purely
I will film the ensuing tragedy for YouTube views. There we go.
Well, I offer that as an alternative to the hammer scenario.
Right. Okay. So the hammers or one high-speed lap with you behind the wheel in the air. I might take the hammer. Take the hammers.
The hammers are kind of a known quantity,
Listen, if you hand me the Ariel, at least you'll be able to rest easy in the knowledge that I went out too.
Right, yeah. I took you down with me.
Yeah. The fate is shared.
Well, I think that's a podcast we've actually ended, where we've actually all been smiling at the end, I think.
Yeah, that's a first.
So I think to keep things safe, and in that, I think we're gonna end it there, because it is also nearly midnight now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah.
It is.
Anyway, that's been a podcast.
See you lot at Rustival.
Yeah, see you at Rustival.
See some of you viewers.
See you at Rustival.
Yes.
And I really look forward to recording the next one of these in August.
Yeah.
2027.
How long does it take to recover from being beaten by hammers? Because that's the kind of time frame we're looking at here.
Depends what you go
Well,
for.
if I've got anything to do with it, a very, very long time.
Well, I'll hopefully see you guys for the next video. I don't know. We'll see if I'm able to recover from the hammer incident. Right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.